Chargers are your team then?
Yes, sir. Been a fan since
Chargers fan.
2001.
Right. Okay.
As soon as they drafted LaDainian Tomlinson, I became a fan.
Ah, okay. That's what it was, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So yeah. So were you following the Cowboys then? And guys said, were the Oilers still the Oilers then, or the Texans then?
The Cowboys are my family's team. They were following the Cowboys. I was a fan, kind of, not really. My grandpa was an Oilers fan, but then I think they was transitioning to where they were going to Tennessee,
right.
and Houston didn't have a football team.
Right.
So yeah, it was just Cowboys and nothing. And then LT came along, and I said, "Well, I'm a Chargers fan."
Hey, that's what does it. Like I said, you follow the player, and wherever they go is where you go.
Yeah, I followed them everywhere except for New York. I didn't go to New York with them.
Fair enough. So why LT? Why him?
I don't know, man. He's just like one of the best backs that I've ever seen, pretty much. I think he's one of the greatest of all times.
Yeah, he said, yeah, he's a great back. I'm not going to argue with you, so that.
I think it's the speed, the agility, the versatility. Like, I think he was like a little bit of everything, man.
I mean, I'll be fair. Like, I tried to draft him on every fantasy football team I had, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it was 2003 season that you got big points. I think he broke the record in 2003.
Yeah, exactly. So it was one of those things where I being bored out here in Scotland, just kind of like I got to do something. And with my Mariners being horrible at baseball, usually year in year out, I had to do something in the off season to kind of keep myself interested.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so
I watch little baseball. I'm a Bryce Harper fan.
Right. Okay. Bryce Harper.
Yeah. To me personally, I always thought he was like the MLB's version of LeBron James.
Right.
That's kind of how I looked at it.
All right. Yeah. He's one of those people that are really polarizing. Either people that really like him or they absolutely hate him.
Yeah, and that was kind of unfortunate that when he finally left the Nationals, that they won a championship. So I was like,
yeah, I know. We get all that stuff out here, and everyone's like, "Oh man, he's sold out for the big bucks." And the Phillies, one of the biggest teams out here is the UK Philly Twitter account, and so they are all excited. And of course, the Nationals won. It was just like, man, we got the best player we possibly could, and it didn't help one bit
at all. I mean, that's kind of how baseball is, a team sport. So even though you get the best player, it doesn't really do anything for you. It's not like basketball.
Yeah, it's not like you're the Yankees where you just buy all the best players up anyways.
Yeah, sometimes, and it still doesn't work for you.
Hey, come on.
Come on, I gotta get my little things to the Yankees every chance I get. Oh, yeah. I miss my NFL Sundays. I do follow, like, I'm a Seahawks fan because I'm from Seattle. So
okay.
So I'm a real Seattle sports fan because I jump on the bandwagon as soon as the team gets good.
Maybe the Sox will come back one day.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I basketball was my sport growing up, and baseball was my second love. And then it crossed over to baseball when about age 15, when I stopped being taller than everyone else, and everyone else got bigger and stronger than me. Like, I don't like basketball anymore.
Well, yeah, I was kind of the same way.
Who carries NFL out this way, Jason? On TV?
Oh gosh, I use Reddit NFL streams to watch all my games. I know Sky does a game a day or two games a day plus the late game, and we'll go to the pub to watch the late game when you could go to the pub. Now you can't, and we just kind of watch whatever. But if the Seahawks are usually on, I'll go and watch the Seahawks game in the man cave, and we'll be all right.
Yeah. The Super Bowl's on about 8 channels, though, isn't it, every year?
Yes, it is. So.
Oh, really? 8 channels?
Yeah. There's quite a few channels carrying the Super Bowl out here simultaneously. I don't watch NFL. I'm just a baseball and ice hockey guy. I watched a little bit of basketball.
Oh, okay.
But after Jordan retired, I stopped watching basketball so much, and I still played the video games and still do occasionally. But baseball's my game.
Oh, okay. Well, I watch a lot of basketball because I like Zion Williamson. He really brought me back into the sport.
Right. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I don't watch a lot of ice hockey, but I like Alec Ovechkin. That's how you say it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Ovechkin.
Yeah.
I was actually really thrilled for him. I'm a New York Rangers fan, but I was so thrilled for Ovechkin 2 years ago when he finally won the cup. It was just the guy who'd worked so hard his whole career, and he's one of the greatest of all time. So it was such a great feeling to see him be able to lift it finally.
Yeah. Like I
Cool.
said, I don't catch much of it, but I know he's pretty good. I
Yeah.
should know the ESPN highlights.
This edition of Ball Caps and Bagpipes, incidentally, is brought to you by ESPN. No, don't sue me, ESPN. That's just a joke. So let's get started, guys, and we'll move on with the interview. Have a good chat.
Okay.
So welcome in, everyone, to the third and final interview this evening from the NLBMArt fundraiser artist interviews. We're joined by a great guy who is known for his shoes. That's one thing I picked up when you guys were on Beckett Live. I'm John McKellar of Ball Caps and Bagpipes.
And I'm Jason Durr, former league president and Baseball Scotland Hall of Famer. I'm also the owner of Dugout Classics, which of course is selling raffle tickets. So £5 each and $6.50 if you're in the US, and we ship internationally if you win. So don't worry, we got a lot of good prizes here.
Yeah, hit up dugoutclassics.com. You've got about a 1 in 4 chance of winning if you buy a raffle ticket at the moment, because Jason has like 50 items and probably more to come. We're joined for the final interview tonight by Jerry Williams. Jerry, would you like to welcome yourself? Introduce yourself, rather.
Oh, well, I'm Jerry Williams. I'm a sports artist, but I also do shoe design and visual illustration as well. And I'm just your all-around regular guy, man. And it's nice to meet you guys, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jerry. It's a pleasure to have you on and meet with you. We always start with the same question, and that is to just give us a bit of your baseball background from your time growing up. Did you play growing up? And if so, what positions? And to what level?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I played baseball pretty much from earliest years, probably like 7 years old, all the way to high school. I mean, I pretty much, because like in the town I grew up in, baseball was everything. I mean, if you weren't at the baseball park, then what were you doing with your life?
But wait a second, you're in Texas. I thought football's king.
Yeah, well, football was king now, but like growing up back in the early 90s, it was pretty much baseball was everything.
Right, okay.
I mean, it's kind of flipped these days, but back then, baseball was king pretty much.
Right, all right.
You were at the park every single night. Yeah, I think I played mostly center field because I had the big arm, and I played pitcher like 2 years. And my coach told me one thing. He just said, just look at the catcher and just throw it as hard as you can right down the middle.
That's a good strategy in Scotland, that's for sure. Jerry, you're in Texas. Whereabouts in Texas are you from? And did you grow up watching either the Astros or Rangers?
We watched the Astros. We watched back in the day where it had Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio. And then when they got the big unit over there, then I got a chance to go to a couple of games because my dad was he was a Randy Johnson fan and he was a Mark McGwire fan. So when they actually clashed, we actually got to go to the game. So it was a big ordeal back then.
Did you actually know that they were teammates at one point in time?
Randy, oh, they were? On what, the Oakland A's? Maybe?
No, at USC.
Oh, well, I would have known that. But
no, because it was interesting. It was interesting you said that because I didn't realize it either. McGuire got to USC as a pitcher. And what happens is he saw Randy Johnson pitch and went, "Oh shit!" Like
as many have over the years. But wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and then he said, "You know what? I need to learn how to bat because this guy's throwing 100 miles per hour. I'm not coming near that." And he became a batter that way. But yeah, they were teammates back at USC.
God,
That's
imagine
pretty cool, man.
Yeah, imagine playing against a club that had the big unit, Randy Johnson, and Big Mac, Mark McGwire, on the same team. That would be frightening.
Man, you ain't getting no swings in. Yeah. And you're center fielder, just staying at the wall, pretty much.
Exactly. Jerry, growing up, do you have a particular moment from baseball or a ball game that you've either attended or watched on TV that sticks out as your favourite memory?
Probably a baseball game. I think I was about 12 years old. It was a playoff game, and I hit my first. Well, it could have been a home run. I kind of pulled back my power a little bit, and I think it was I ended up hitting a triple. And the coach was like, "You could have hit a home run. Why did you hit the home run?" And I was like, "Well, there was a car right there behind the fence, and I didn't want to break anybody's windows, so I kind of pulled back a little bit. I didn't want to get in trouble."
That's amazing.
That's great, man.
That's one of my fondest memories. So
amazing. Jason, do you want to take over and talk about Jerry's sneakers and his art?
Yeah, so we've talked about football, we've talked about baseball, but we're sneakers. So I'm guessing you like hoops.
Yeah, like I said, I've been a basketball fan. I used to watch Allen Iverson a lot, and then when he left, I kind of wasn't watching anybody until LeBron James came, and I got back into basketball. So I wouldn't say I was a big sneakerhead. That just started happening like the past 4 months here.
Right. Okay.
It's kind of a funny story behind it as to why I started doing sneakers.
Cool. Well, okay, we'll get into that. Let's go into your illustration first. We'll talk about the sneakers because
okay.
There's a lot of people that want to know about the sneakers because I think when we did the Make It Live, everyone was really impressed with what you do. But you're a sports artist, so and the one thing I really thought that was super cool is you did the Christian Okoye Temco Bowl stud card. Or was it Temco Bowl?
Oh, you seen that? Yeah.
I was like, oh, I played a lot of Temco Bowl. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So did you get started? Were you starting as an artist when you were a kid, or did you develop this over time? Did you go to college for this?
Well, art is pretty much like a family trait, pretty much like within a man, and all the men in my family can draw. But I guess as they got older, they always figured, well, it's not going to do anything for me, so I'm just going to throw it away or just don't even worry about drawing. And me, I've been drawing forever. So I figure, well, if y'all are going to draw, I'll take the reins and I'll try to do the best I can with it, And so I've been doodling all through school. I was like one of the best artists growing up. I did go to the Art Institute of Houston for a while, but that was for traditional animation.
Right.
It wasn't like, that's not the kind of art I wanted to do, like drawing pages and pages and pages of hands moving. So I kind of left there, and I just pretty much been doing a lot of freelance artwork, a lot of like sports art, and trying to go to like different shows and trade shows, trying to showcase my artwork and just trying to get seen.
Right. Okay. So did you come out of college and go, all right, I want to make it as an artist? I imagine with you're coming from a family of artists, they would have the full support from them.
Yeah, I've always had support, and I never told myself that I was going to be a full-time artist. I was kind of like, I know that I wanted to keep doing it as a hobby and as like a side deal, I guess like a side career. Because I never knew if I was going to be able to make it as an artist because it's a hard company to become famous in.
So what was the first piece of art you sold then? And kind of with that, I am selling art.
My first piece of art that I sold, I can't remember, it was a Houston Astros commemorative piece from when they won a championship the very first time.
Yeah, so that was 2004.
Yes, sir.
Was it 2005?
Oh, it was
2004.
Yeah,
I know it had.
It was 04. It was with Clemens and Pettit, and they won the.
Okay, it was that. It had to be. It might have been 20.
It was 2005 actually, because 04 was the Red Sox.
Yeah, it's 2005.
And 05 was the Astros over the White Sox, wasn't it?
Yes. And I should know that because that's when I got married. Because I remember.
Yeah. It's only 15, 16 years ago. Why do we not remember this? But yeah.
Because as the World Series was going on we got married in Vegas, and we went to Vegas, Seattle, and Toronto. And as we were hopping from city to city, we were catching bits of the World Series as it was going on.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So for us, it was exciting because it said back in 2005, you got to watch 2 baseball games a night, or two games a week. You got one on Wednesday and one on Sunday. So the fact that we had baseball on all the time was really good for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always great when like the postseason would be on as well over here because we would actually get to see good teams every day. Whereas most times, especially in midweek, we would get like
Rays Royals.
basement dwellers kind of. It was kind of like the kind of backup games that we would see, and then maybe Sunday night baseball we would usually get the ESPN broadcast, so it was always kind of good stuff. But like midweek, it would just be a lot of it as well. Would be like pre-recorded as well, so it's just like
it'd be those blackout games, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the blackout games is probably the ones that we would be getting. Yeah, but it was baseball on TV, and you know.
Yeah, it's better than nothing at all, you know.
Yeah.
Cool.
But now I think of it, I don't think it was a 2004 piece. I think it might have been like a 2017, like the recent.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yes, I did see that. Yeah, you had, because I saw, who's the pitcher now for the lefty? Yeah, I did remember see that. That will come to my mind. Keuchel.
Yeah, it was.
Keuchel.
It was Keuchel. Yeah.
Keuchel, that's what it is there. Yes, of course. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now. So you started off with illustrations. I said, do you lean to any sport in particular, or you just kind of take commissions, or is there something?
So most of the time I'll take commissions, or I'll just draw something that's on my mind. I'll just try to put it down on paper so before I forget it. And a lot of times I draw things and try to send to players and hope I get good responses from them. And it's worked a couple times.
Nice.
Well, it's funny you say that because that's how Blake Jameson got to start. Like he met someone's agent, and the agent said, if you do 3 paintings for my 3 players, we'll put it on Instagram for you. And then that was how he got his into with the other athletes.
Yeah, I respect that because you kind of got to put yourself out there. You know, you kind of got to take those risks in order to get the reward later on in life.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the connections you make are great. So, you're never complaining about that.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. That's the best thing to have is connections because, like you say, sometimes it's about who you know.
So have you had a chance to actually present your work to any athletes yet?
Usually I do whenever I go to those autograph shows. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten a lot of good compliments. And I've gotten one person, Miles Garrett's mom wanted me to draw a personal picture for them. And what happened was I ended up losing the information that she gave me.
Oh my God.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah, because I got out there to give my autograph, and she pulled me to the side and was talking to me, gave me her number, email, and I was looking for it, and I lost it, and I was like, "There's no way that I'm going to be able to contact with these people again."
Oh,
I tried to contact them through Twitter, Instagram, and they don't really open messages. So I was like, well, that's a loss, but it's something to look forward to, I guess.
Well, I think what we'll do is we'll have to go and we'll have to get on Twitter and we'll have to go and reach out to Myles Garrett and see if we can grab his attention to see if we can do that, because I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that guy that lost all your information, like, still willing to do
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gutting. I've had something similar happen to myself there, and I know not quite as big as Myles Garrett, but it was like, it was old school back in the '90s, and you got a piece of paper and you lost it. That's it.
Yeah, because growing up, like, I'm a big Texas A&M fan, so this was like the second show I ever went to, so I didn't really expect much from it, and to get that kind of response from his mom of all people, I was like, well, this might be my shot right here, and then things happen. So
why Texas A&M?
To be honest, I think it was like 1998 when I started watching it. They had the human joystick at running back. Dante Hall.
Right. Okay.
Was at running back, and I just happened to watch the game, and they were playing against Arkansas, and they won.
Right.
And I said, well, there's my team. And it just happened just like that. And I've been the biggest fan ever since.
Nice. I mean, John has a similar story with his Yankees, so.
Yeah. I kind of, so I found baseball kind of by accident in 2001. I went to like a video store and was like looking to rent like a game of some kind, like for PlayStation 2 back then. And I was already kind of an ice hockey fan to an extent through the video games and seeing bits and pieces here and there. And I found All-Star Baseball 2002, which had Derek Jeter on the front. So I played that game and really enjoyed it. So I thought, I'm going to watch a baseball game this Sunday because obviously we had the Sunday and the Wednesday night game and I knew they were on, being a hockey fan already. So it was Yankees-Mets was the first matchup, and it was the Sunday before the 2001 All-Star game. And I just thought to myself, I'm going to watch this game, and I guess I'll just naturally fall in line with whoever wins this one. And the pitching matchup was kind of a forgettable one. It was Randy Kiesler versus Glendon Rush. And the Yankees won that night, so they kind of became my team. It wasn't until in the September of that year when Mike Mussina pitched a near-perfect game at Fenway Park that he cemented me as a proper Yankees fan and him as my Yankee.
Okay.
Yeah. So we all have our it's the same thing. I became a baseball fan because of the 1981 Little League World Series. And that's mine,
okay, I wasn't born then, but
yeah, no, not to date myself. Yeah. But so they literally lived like 5 miles down the road. So as a 6-year-old, seeing the guys on TV and they had won it, and I didn't know what it was there, but I thought it was the coolest thing that there's guys that were just down the road that won Little League World Series, and they were super famous for that, and that was my interest in baseball from a young age.
Yeah, Jason was only in his 20s back then.
So when you watch ESPN 30 for 30, they do a documentary on the 81 Little League World Series, and that was what got me on there. So, but it wasn't until later, until I watched that documentary, that I realized that was that point in time that would have cemented me as a baseball fan.
So was there something?
I'll check that out.
Yeah, was there something special about that particular year of the Little League World Series? Why 81?
So, one, it was 5 miles down the road. Two, it was the first time they had won in quite a few years because you had Japan and Chinese Taipei that were constantly winning it back and forth there. So I think it had been like a 6-year drought before the last time they'd won. So, of course, 1981, you had like 4 channels. So all 4 channels were local. 4 channels had the same broadcaster. So you through the channels. Oh, wait, hold on. You turn the channels because there are like 4 channels. And they all had the same thing there. And of course, there was a big parade for them and all that there. So, but yeah, I think had they not won that Little League World Series or involved with it, I probably would not have had that interest in baseball that I did.
Yeah. Fun fact, Jason actually. Yeah. Fun fact, Jason actually celebrated his 21st birthday by going to the premiere night of Wizard of Oz.
It was the first. Speaking of thanks. All right, yeah.
You still absolutely owned me in the mound, so who am I?
All right. Enough about us. It's about Jerry. So let's hear about how you became a shoe artist, because I said your shoes are absolutely stunning. They are drop dead. You had all the other artists just go, oh my God, this is absolutely amazing. So how did you become a shoe artist?
Well, it was actually this year, actually. And my daughter is a big sneakerhead, actually. She has like, her color looks like Foot Locker, I always say. But I was going to get her a pair of custom shoes. And the price that the guy gave me, I didn't agree with, due to the fact that he wasn't known. I thought that it was a very high price. And I was like, well, forget that. I said, I'm an artist. I can just make some shoes myself. And then I ended up making a pair of customized Vans. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. I was moved from Vans to Air Forces, from Air Forces to the Jordans. And, I was getting better and better every time, learning how to use the different kind of paints for the shoes. And now it's just kind of like clockwork.
Cool. So you mentioned special kind of paints. What kind of paints would do that? Because I imagine the canvas isn't a very good, what do you want to call it, canvas to work with.
Well, actually, when I do like a canvas shoe, like a van, I actually use like artisan markers, like Copic markers, alcohol markers.
Right.
I use those, and sometimes I use like a little bit of Angeles paint as well. But alcohol markers work really well on a canvas shoe.
Right. So that must have been quite a bit of trial and error to finally get everything to work.
Oh yeah, cause I messed up on quite a few pairs of shoes, not knowing what I was doing.
Right. So did you go and buy just a bunch of cheap shoes at first? You go, right, I got to try some just cheap $5 shoes to see what works there. Or did you actually start with the Vans and go, all right, I'm an artist, I can do this right from the start?
No, I actually went and bought a pair of cheap Walmart shoes, and I bought a bunch of Sharpies, and that was terrible because the Sharpies bled all over the place. I was like, well, this isn't going to work. Let's try something different. We're going to try paint markers. Same thing. It's terrible. So I said, well, we'll go with alcohol markers, which is a lot better if you're very gentle with it.
Right.
You got to have a very light hand for it.
Cool. So did you reach out to other sneaker artists and kind of get ideas to see what would work, or did you just kind of work in your own bubble and not knowing that there was other people doing this?
Oh, I definitely reached out to several shoe artists to get the best info I can get because I didn't want to just keep going with trial and error. I wanted to try to duplicate what everybody else was doing. Because I was like, well, I know I have the skills already. I just got to learn what you're doing, and then I'll be fine from there.
Right. Were they very receptive to you? Because I don't know how. I'm not a sneaker guy. Like I said, like basically I buy like the same. I've owned the same type of shoe for the last like 7 years, and I just buy in different colors after like that. So.
Well, everybody's been pretty cool. You know, pretty much in the art world, you'll get people who are very helpful, and then you'll get some that are kind of like closed in and don't want to give you their insight or their secrets. And you just got to hope to find some good people out there that's willing to help you out, because I always figure that as artists, we're all in this together. Like we all should be helping each other out. So I never want to try to I don't hinder anybody else's progress. I just want to see everybody do as well as they possibly can.
No, absolutely. I think that's been one of the things we've learned is how many artists have reached out to other artists throughout the sports art community to kind of get some tips and tricks and or even just to pick their brains for a little bit. I think that's been a really nice thing to do. So I'm really pleased to hear that people at least helped you on your journey.
Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of that's like a trial and error thing too. You see, you get some who won't really tell you much of anything, so you know, still their, I guess, their style. And you get some that's like, well, I'll show you what I do, and hopefully it works out for you. And that's just a good gift to pass along to everybody else.
So when you were creating the shoes for the benefit, did you film it a lot, and so you can see the progress along the way?
I didn't really, because I don't have the equipment set up the film, like the I don't even know what you call it.
Yeah, the ring lighting and the camera.
Yeah, I don't have that equipment yet. I hope to get that in the near future here, because I know that people love to see that. I didn't just create like little small music videos of my shoes when I get done. That's about all I do.
So all right, so what's the soundtrack to making your shoes then?
I don't know. A whistle while I work, I guess.
No, that's fair enough. Like I said, you know, because you should go and like your walk-up music. You know, so you develop walk-up music for your shoes.
I definitely need some walk-up music. Probably have to be like some in the line of like Goldberg's theme music or Stone Cold. That way, all you gotta do is hear that first sound, and you already know what's coming.
I think you just make John's night. John's a big wrestler.
Yeah. I think the goal.
Oh yeah, big old
Goldberg sounds great. I like the sound of that.
Like I said, all you gotta do is hear the first sound, and you already know what's coming. Pain's coming, so you already know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a heck of a show. So that could be a good theme song for when I'm making them shoes.
Mm-hmm.
and just have smoke all over the place.
You have to blow the smoke out and then start hitting out with the kicks.
Yeah.
Be careful not to break anything while you're working.
I actually been watching a lot of old school wrestling. I watched the greatest hits on the Goldbergs and the Rocks. I'm a big The Rock fan.
All right. That's what you need to do. You need to make some wrestling shoes, paint some wrestling shoes for The Rock and reach out to him.
Yep.
Oh, I already have some in mind. I just haven't done them yet.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, with the shoes, then, is it going to have his wrestling career or his acting career?
Ooh.
Oh, it definitely gotta be wrestling. I love his acting, but wrestling made him who he was.
Yeah, well, surely it wasn't the Miami Hurricanes, that's for sure.
Did he not he won a national championship with the Hurricanes, did he not?
I don't.
Yeah, but he was like at the bottom of the roster. Like you wouldn't even know he was on the team.
Well, okay. Let's not let the facts get in the way of a good story. The Rock is a national champion at the end of the day.
Yeah, we give him that. We give him that.
In the same way, that's in the same way that I won a championship on Sunday by sitting on the bench all day and going 0 for 1 with a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you guys listen. You guys talk wrestling because wrestling for me is '80s wrestling. Like all about Jake the Snake and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And so those are my guys. You know, the Iron Sheik. I remember the Iron Sheik.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the king of the promo.
You know, Macho Man. Amateur Slim Jim. You know.
I'm so going to crop that and add that to the beginning of absolutely every ball caps and bagpipes from now on. Jason Dale's terrible Macho Man Randy Savage promo.
Did you guys know?
Well, I'm glad I didn't do my impression then.
Yeah. Yeah, that snap into a Slim Jim. I remember when he went to WCW, he was still doing that, and I think that's apparently why he and Vince McMahon fell out. Is because he took that kind of revenue stream with him.
So you guys know that he was a baseball player at first.
He was, yeah, Randy Poffo.
Are you really?
Yeah. So he
minor leaguer.
So he was like a terrible second baseman and like backup outfielder, but like he was so keen on the game, like he taught himself to throw left-handed. He's right-handed and taught himself to left-handed to do whatever he could to stay involved with baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, there's somebody. Oh, it's oh man, is it Baseball Card Vandal? He made a card for him, and he has a picture of like 1974 Randy. Yeah, a picture of him would be his card for it.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool, man. It's surprising to see how so many athletes didn't excel in sports, but they became great elsewhere.
I think I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's probably that drive to be the top of your game. I mean, we all know somebody that's been, All-American or, All-League, and their skill level is so much higher. And then you get that next level, and you have to keep working to get to that next level there. So I think you can take that, the work you put into that, and then go, okay, well, my career's stalled out, but I can put that same kind of effort into the next thing I want to do and see where it goes. Yeah,
because crazy, because these guys they're built like gods, like Brock Lesnar. He's big, and when he was on the football field, he was like one of the worst guys on the team.
Yeah,
like Terry Crews as well too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and The Rock.
Who was the guy that was actually a proper Olympic wrestler?
Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Kurt Angle.
Won a gold medal in 1996 with a broken freaking neck, no less.
I didn't know with the broken neck.
That might not actually be true. It was a wrestling reference. He was injured. Yeah, he was injured before the final and still beat the guy who was almost twice his size. It was like a proper like fairy tale story with like an amazing ending where he like beat this guy, and it was like pure determination and drive, like you say. Like it was 90% like that desire to be the best in the world that caused him to get through that last kind of fight and become the champion. I guess the gold medalist.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, John, I think you're gonna ask your question, but before we do, if you could design a shoe for anybody, who would it be?
I would probably say probably Allen Iverson.
Oh, Allen, all right, yeah.
Allen Iverson.
I used to have an Allen Iverson USA jersey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was big. I was baloney over that guy back in the day.
AI was an amazing player, man. Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I'm going to ask the question I usually ask to close shows. However, before I do, got a couple of comments from Tad Richardson. He says, "Preach, we're all in this together." But more importantly, breaking news. Tad has tweeted Miles Garrett. He grew up in his neighbouring town. No, I've gotten that wrong. He's tweeted Miles Garrett, but he grew up in the neighbouring town from the '82 Kirkland team, played against them through high school. And Stephen Loudon has just checked in and said his A's won tonight, so they're still alive.
So far.
I'm not sure how much hair Stephen has left, but he won't have very by the end of this series, I don't think. So we like to finish off each of our artist interviews, Jerry, with the same question, and that is, as an American, as an artist, and as a baseball fan, and for yourself in particular, being an African American, what do the Negro Leagues mean to you?
They mean a lot. It shows a lot of heart and determination from taking somewhere. You look back at where you've come to where we are now. You know, there was a point of time to where they're pretty much separated, segregated, and they had to make their own game. And now they're intertwined to the game that we love to watch these days. So it means a lot to know that we know that those guys would love to see what's happening in the world right now, how everybody's accepted, no matter what skin tone you are, what race you are.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a long way to go as a society, both in the United States and elsewhere, but I totally agree. The Negro Leagues caused a progress to happen that has continued to this day and continues to get better. Absolutely agree with you there. Jerry, we're going to open up a pack of cards here, but before we do, would you like to plug your website and social media?
Y'all can check my artwork out on my Instagram. It's at Williams Illustrations, and I have an Etsy store. You go to etsy.com/shop/the Williams Way. I'm selling shoes on there as well, and the cleats for the Negro League Museum on there as well too. If somebody would love to go on there and purchase them.
Amazing. Jerry, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you and meeting you. Let's open up some cards, Jason.
Right. So
thank you guys.
You guys are making me feel old. So I got an opinion which pack of cards we're going to open, but I'm going to go through the whole list anyways. So I got about eight packs of cards. You can choose whichever one you want, and we'll open them up and talk about the players if we recognize anybody. So
okay,
we've got 87 tops.
This one was big with Jason's grandkids back in the day. Listen, this is me getting revenge for that. Yeah, right, Jerry, I don't know if you were watching earlier, but Jason and Justin Cousson almost had me pissing my pants laughing with a story that I was not prepared to hear. It was, you would need to go back and watch, but like...
I'll definitely go back and watch it.
I was so unprepared for it that I spent about half of that interview laughing into my hat. So anyway, Jason, sorry, as you were.
So Justin had a Twitter beef with James Bond. So I had to have the story about that one. So it was quite funny, but John just wasn't prepared for that one. So all right. I've got 1990 score. That's got the Bo Jackson where he's got the football pads and the bat there.
Oh yeah.
91 studio. So these are all cards where the guys are actually in like a photo studio where they're kind of going like this. And so they're a lot of fun. 91 Stadium Club. Now that's got what's his name? Jeff Bagwell rookie in it. If you want to go after.
So I'll win that if you open it.
Yeah, 92 Donruss, and that's got a possible Cal Ripken Jr. autograph in there. 92 Pinnacle, and we like these cards because there are player hobbies in there. I think there's like one per pack, or we pulled one right there. So there's some strange cards in there. 93 Studio, which is kind of the same thing again, just with cooler backgrounds. And then I've got a modern pack of, what's it called? Big League Baseball. So it's all the modern guys in it.
You know what? I almost went modern, but I want to go 90s with the Bo Jackson.
Right, the Bo Jackson. Yeah, we not pulled the Bo yet. We opened a pack yesterday, and there was 2 Bo Jackson cards in there, but it wasn't the actual proper Bo Jackson card that we were looking for. So, but unfortunately, these cards have been pretty rubbish. There's not been a good card out of it yet. We'll start here. We've got Andres Thomas with the Braves. Yeah, no, don't really know that. So
don't ring a bell.
Alvaro Espinoza for the Yankees. Yeah, known as SB. We made the roster for the Yankees.
He made the roster. Well,
it's
more than I'm ever going to do, but yeah, that's not great, is it?
Cool. We've got Hall of Famer Alan Trammell with the Tigers there.
That's the second time we've pulled an Alan Trammell tonight.
Yeah, we have. So is that all right? We've got a sports archives, the Dream Team. We got Ryan Sandberg on the second base.
Ryan Sandberg. Okay, yeah, I know Ryan Sandberg.
Yeah, so that's kind of one of the art cards that come in there. I didn't actually realize that was in there, but here you go.
I think I played with him back when I played RBI baseball.
So do you have to like take your turns putting those 5.5-inch floppy disks in there? Because that's my school.
No, it was cartridge. You got to blow it real hard.
All right, we got Frank Sweet Music Viola with the Mets there. It was obviously with the Twins for a long time. So he's coming up because him and Ron Darling threw arguably the best college baseball game ever. They had dueling no-hitters through 11 innings.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
So it was St. John's and Yale because Frank went to St. John's and Ron Darling went to Yale.
And Frank won it, didn't he, eventually?
I believe so, yeah. So it's arguably the best game ever played in college baseball. Probably ever if you want to go dueling no-hitters to 11. So, all right. We've got a Brewer, Greg Brock. The best thing you can say about Greg Brock is he was a longtime Dodger. Doesn't say much about his career.
Mr. Brock stuck around. That's better than nothing.
So we got Jay Tibbs with the Orioles. So he was just kind of a middle reliever. Doesn't really say a whole lot about him. We got Pete O'Brien with the Indians. So
that card deck is kind of like playing the lottery, huh?
Yeah, it really is. The cards have been pretty bad. Although John's gonna like this one because we got his second all-time favorite player, Bobby Bonilla.
That's a good card. Hey, isn't he the guy who gets paid a certain amount of money every year?
Yeah. The Mets pay him $1 million because there was that joke when July 1st came that Bobby Bonilla was like the highest paid player in baseball this year up to that point because obviously they didn't start until the end of that month.
Yeah.
They have another 10 years on this contract.
Yeah. So what basically happened there was it just like the Mets were like, we can't afford to pay you this year, like so we'll pay you like $1 million a year over the next like 30.
I think they were.
That's a great deal, though.
Yeah.
It was just the way his contract was structured, so they could kind of get without it. I think he was getting like $10 million a year or something like that. And so if it said, "Oh, we've restructure it, we'll pay you over 30 years there," because obviously by the time inflation kicks in, like the dollar would be devalued there. So he's done well with that.
Yeah, it's some financial security for him every year, isn't it? He knows he's going to get $1 million in his account no matter what he does.
But I guess it's like other pools. I mean, he gets paid for another year, and then I think he has like another 10-year service contract with the Eagles, like $1 million a year as well. So
right,
that's pretty good because a lot of players from back then, most of them have burned through all their money, and they're trying to do whatever they can to stay relevant.
Yeah. Well, you mean while Bobby just gets paid every year? I'm all right.
We're trying to see if we can send some cards to Bobby for him to sign for you, John.
Yeah, so we should probably fill Jerry in on the backstory behind this. I'm not actually a Bobby Bonilla fan. I became one earlier this year through a tournament that Jason and I took part in. It was called the Bump Bailey Wax Pack Heroes Tournament of Awesome. And it was like a game much similar to what we're doing now, where we would just pull a pack of cards, but using, was it a 92 Beckett's book, the Two Strike Noise podcast, who hosted it, would tally up the value of the cards that we would get. And in our first round game against the infield fly girl, we pulled a Bobby Bonilla on, like, I think it was the second or third card, which was worth like $3, and it automatically meant that we won. So I became a big Bobby Bonilla fan for that reason.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good for everything.
Did you collect cards as a kid? I never had a chance. Did you collect cards?
Yeah, I collect the cards. I used to collect a lot of football, basketball, some baseball. I learned from my dad, because my dad was a big card collector, so then I became a card collector.
Do you have a favorite?
Like, I didn't know like the values of the cards, so I kind of just like, well, I probably have cards that could be worth a lot of money, but I wouldn't know it because I don't know how to grade them.
Yeah, it's all weird now. It's all about getting your cards graded and seeing the mint tens and all that there. So, but let's be honest, like during that era, there's not a whole lot that's worth a whole lot unless you got one of those Michael Jordan rookies hiding somewhere.
Yeah, because I had a Allen Iverson rookie card. I was like, man, it's gonna be worth a couple of like about at least $300. And the guy was saying, worth about $6. And I was like,
yeah, exactly. And then you send it to get graded, and then they go, okay, yeah, it's there. So if you have a perfect card, it's worth X amount of money because it's something like that. And then it's all changed now.
Yeah, like you got like one ding on the side on the corner, it goes down like so much. I was like, well, I guess it's just not. It ain't for me. But it's still a cool hobby though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I love collecting cards and that there, but yeah, like the whole, I'm gonna go send it in and get it graded, and yeah, it's not my no way, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we got some more cards here. So we've got Hall of Famer Barry Larkin with the Reds.
Nice.
I know Barry Larkin. Sounds like an RBI baseball kind of guy.
Are you gonna go fire RBI baseball after this and go play a couple games?
Or bases loaded, either one.
Oh, right, yeah.
Cool. Now, while we're talking about video games, seeing that you're a hockey fan, did you like Blades of Steel?
Oh, I like Blades of Steel. I don't know if John was around for that. I think that was
that's Blades of Steel's a bit before my time. I'll need to try and find an emulator and check it out.
It was before my time, but man, that's like one of the top 5 greatest games of all time.
Blades of Steel. I'll need to check that out.
Because I think that was the first one allowed where you can fight.
Yeah. You hit that A button as hard as you can, and you fight knock them out.
Yes, yeah. Cause I remember that. Like, everyone bought the game because like, you can fight this time. You actually can fight the players.
Yeah.
Because they had the pool of blood too, didn't they?
I was just going to ask that.
They might have been. I probably don't remember it. I just know you knock them out and they fall over the ground.
All over, yeah. But I think there was one that you actually had like a pool of blood if you get that or something like that.
I was just going to ask, are there any of the games from back then where you could have blood and stuff and like black eyes? Because obviously nowadays you get like animations where they hobble off, but they don't have any blood or anything like that in their faces. I don't think you're allowed to do that now in the games. But
oh man,
maybe back
that
then.
takes me back. I haven't heard that. Yeah.
I don't know.
I want a hockey game where, like, when a fight gets initiated, it turns into like Mortal Kombat. That would be awesome. You know, like instead of like just having the normal camera from the overhead, just like switch to like a Mortal Kombat style and just have them go at it.
Yeah,
with special moves and all sorts, you know.
They make a blitz style hockey game, maybe.
There you go. Yeah. All right, we've got Randy Reddy for the Phillies. So
Randy Reddy, that's a good name. I give him that much.
He was a utility guy. We got Mike Marshall for the Dodgers. Yeah, he was just kind of an average guy who played right field. So nothing exciting about him. Although we've been talking about this guy a few times now. We got Bill Buckner with the Royals.
Bill Buckner, I think I know him.
Long time there. We've got rookie Jose De Jesus with the Royals, which I don't remember him at all. He apparently has a explosive fastball. So I don't remember.
Yeah, once they got him anywhere.
All right, we got Mark Lemke with the Braves. That was his rookie card there. So he's been an all-star 5 times in 5 different minor league systems.
Excellent.
And another rookie, Randy Nozick with the Tigers. So yeah, we got the Barry Larkin, and that was about in the Ryan Sandberg. So we didn't do too hot on the cards there.
Oh, it wasn't too bad. Could have had a Nolan Ryan in there. That would have been good. Or George Brett, maybe.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Actually, you know what? We'll open up one more pack if we got time, and we'll go because usually the other packs actually have some stars in it. And
Oh yeah, sure. We know what that.
all right, so we'll go with the studio cards, but we'll go with the nice studio cards here because I really like the design of these. And these are, since it was a smaller set, I think it was only 250 in there, so they got rid of a lot of those guys. You're like, who's this guy? So you actually know.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
So
be honest, Jason. You just want to pull Steve Lake again.
No, I went with 93, not 91. So, but this is the one that has everyone's favorite hobbies.
Oh yeah. The old like hunting and fishing. They all have 2 kids with their wives, and they all watch Cheers.
So hold on, they're all stuck together. Okay. So
because of the gloss.
We're gonna start off with Harold Baines with the Orioles here. So his hobbies are playing golf, shooting pool, and his favorite sports announcer is Brooks Robinson. So he's a big Oriole guy. All right. That's his card.
Nice looking card.
Yeah. See, I like these cards. These are cool looking cards. So we've got Willie Wilson, and his favorite hobby is golf, and his favorite player as a kid was Gale Sanders. And he might have been a businessman if he hadn't been an athlete.
Are those autographed or that's just printed?
That is printed there. But his pet is 8-ball. Because we pulled this card.
Oh, that's right. We pulled him before. He hates 8-ball.
We were still trying to figure out what 8-ball is.
He's probably talking about cocaine.
Well, don't put that in the card. I mean,
the time that those cards are from, he probably was in a locker room with a lot of 8-ball in it. So
I don't know. Yeah, no, that's the wrong year. That was the 80s. That was when.
Oh the 90s was steroids and
that was when the Pirates mascot was selling coke in the locker room. Yeah, it was the Pirates mascot was selling cocaine to players in the 80s. You can look at Pittsburgh drug trials. You'll read about that there.
Oh, really? That sounds kind of like a Darryl Strawberry story and all those.
I'm pretty sure he hooked up Darryl. I don't.
Yeah.
Like you can confirm or deny that he was helping Darryl and Keith Hernandez. All right, we've got Mickey Morandini. Gosh, we pulled the same ones there. And his favorite hobbies are bowling and basketball. His favorite player as a kid was Al Oliver. His favorite possession is Olympic gold medal, and he would have been a teacher if he wasn't been an athlete. So, all right, I remember he played for the '92 Olympic team. I remember that. So, all right, we got Jeff King with the Pirates. His hobbies are hunting and fishing. His favorite player as a kid was Joe Morgan and Johnny Bench.
Mm-hmm.
And if he hadn't been a ball player, he would have been a wildlife biologist.
Interesting.
Cool career.
Some of their hobbies are really interesting. All right. Yeah. Chad Curtis of the Angels here. And his hobbies are weightlifting and Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. That's what I got on right now.
Yeah. Now there we go. The Super Nintendo. That takes me back. His favorite player as a kid was Alan Trammell. His most prized possession is his wedding ring, and he would have worked in plastic technology if he hadn't been an athlete.
Oh, we've had this card before because I remember I was like, plastic technology? What?
And I'm pretty sure his wife told him to put their wedding ring on.
Wedding ring. He said, she was probably the one to fill out the information for him. All right, so we've got Junior Felix with the Marlins, which I'm loving the Marlins blue. His favorite.
They had nice uniforms back then.
That's my favorite one. I wish they would wear these more often.
Would that have been the Florida Marlins first year?
Yes. Yeah. So he's an interesting one. So his hobby is golf. It seems like everyone's. His favorite player as a kid was George Bell. and Pedro Guerrero. And he would have been a computer engineer if he hadn't been an athlete. That's an interesting one. I would have never guessed a computer engineer, but all right.
I mean, maybe some of those guys are doing those careers right now because they probably didn't last too long in the league.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was the 90s. They weren't making millions yet. So,
Yeah.
all right. We got Black Jack McDowell with the White Sox here.
It was a
And
nice autograph.
yeah, that is good. So his hobby is he's in a band. So he released a progressive rock album 3 years previously. So
I wonder if it was Spotify.
yeah, I wonder if he's still thinking about, but yeah, that's all. Clearly, Jack didn't have a whole lot to say there. It was probably the shortest bio I've seen so far. All right, Don Slott of the Pirates. That's it. I missed that logo. I really like that Pirates logo.
Oh, old school Pirates. Okay.
His hobbies are golf, collecting cars, and reading. His favorite player kid was Johnny Bench, and he might have been a real estate developer if he hadn't been an athlete.
Oh, real estate.
All right.
Real estate isn't really something you go into right out of college, though, is it? Surely, I'd imagine that would have been something he would have started toward the end of his baseball career.
Probably, most likely.
Yeah. It's like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? A real estate developer.
You know, fireman, astronaut, real estate developer.
Yeah.
It's just
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Tell you to say that.
What did you want to be when you grow up? A postman.
This guy's interesting here because he's probably the most player that's closest to the most modern players now because he never got 200 strikeouts, but he was one of those guys that always struck out 190 times and would hit a ton of home runs. So I think he would have played these days and would have been just fine. To give you an example, they love to face, hate to face. So his best team he ever hit against was the Orioles, and his highest average against any team at all was 269.
Wow.
He was kind of like Giancarlo Stanton, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but like I think probably about 6 inches shorter. So
I mean, whether you tall or you short, man, you still swing and you miss, or you knock it out.
yeah, pretty much that was it. That's what he was known for. He was a 3 outcome hitter. You know, home run, strikeout, or a walk. So
Yeah.
he would have been a good player to play now these days. So there we go. This is one of the great studio shots with Gerald Clark there. Look at that. You know, he's
Look at that nice shot.
Gerald is all in, isn't he? He's like, yes, it's photo day. I love this time of year. He's got in ready to go.
So his hobbies are golf, fishing, and listening to jazz. He might have been an engineer if he hadn't been an athlete. So, all right. He's from Crockett, Texas. I don't know if that's anywhere close to you, but I saw he was from Texas.
I've heard of it, but I don't think it's too close.
Not that Texas is a small place.
Yeah. Texas is about as big as half of Europe, I think.
Yeah, I drove 8 hours and I was still in Texas.
That does not sound like it. It's so funny. If you can drive to here in Poland in 20 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Europe's really small. Like you can literally from Edinburgh there, you can catch an overnight ferry and end up in Amsterdam, basically, and then you can drive straight from there. Pretty much across everything. It's small. Like you can fit all the UK and Ireland in the state of Nevada.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there are twice as many people in New York City as there are in the entire country of Scotland.
Wow. So grew up in Texas all your life. All I ever knew was that everything was far.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's pretty small. I mean, my wife's Swedish, and being from Seattle, we have a lake house that's about 5.5 hours away. And same thing. She was like, all right, like 5 hours driving in Sweden. I could have been in 2 different countries by now.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 more cards, and then we'll call it a night. So we've got Chili Davis for the Angels here. His hobbies are golf, tennis, and swimming. His favorite player was Johnny Bench, and his most prized possession is his World Series trophy and ring. and you might have been a musician
Oh.
or an electrician if you hadn't been an athlete.
A lot of love for Johnny Bench among this class of players, isn't there?
I think it's that era of the Big Red Machine. So
Yeah, these guys all grew up watching him.
So you would have had that, and of course, like being these guys grew up in the 70s, there you would have only had 3 channels, so you actually would have had some probably pretty good games to watch on a Sunday. So
Big Red Machine, that's Cincinnati Reds, huh?
correct, yes.
Oh, okay. My dad, he's like the biggest Pete Rose fan ever.
So you should. Oh gosh, who is that now? You need to reach out to. Oh man, Steve Coiler. Yeah, so he's in Cincinnati, and he does a lot. Like most of his work is like all Cincinnati Reds.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
So yeah, so you should reach out to him. Super cool guy. We had a great time talking with him, and yeah, you should definitely go and see if you can get something for your dad.
Oh yeah, I definitely hook up with him.
So to say that, like he actually coaches the baseball team. He teaches the team at the same high school Pete Rose went to.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, so yeah, you should have him go around and take some photos. I'm sure there's pictures of Pete and stuff like that there, and he's got a giant picture of Pete doing that classic head first slide in the third base.
Oh yeah.
All right, final card. We got Roberto Kelly with the Reds, and his hobbies are listening to salsa music and going to movies. His favorite player was Rod Carrillo, and his most prized possession is life.
Well, there you go.
I guess
A
you
good note
can't
to
lose
end.
with that.
Yeah, it's a good note to end on.
Exactly.
Make
God's
life
happy.
your most prized possession. That's the message tonight as we close up. Jerry, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you. All the best with the fundraiser and all the other items you have in your store. That was etsy.com/shop/the Williams Way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Everyone, check out Jerry's stuff, his sneakers, as you call it over there, trainers as we call them in the UK. I've seen bits and pieces of it, and it looks amazing. Keep doing what you're doing, and all the best, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank y'all for having me as well too.
No problem. We'll have to get together and watch a wrestling match.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All the best, Jerry, and thanks again.
Have a good one.
All right, thank you guys. Yes, sir. Y'all take it easy.